Like, seriously, this dude just, like, takes out the one zombie with the two knives, you know, both in one. Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. The Walking Dead Season 10 C, guys, has officially begun. This one's going to be for Season 10, Episode 17 review, Home Sweet Home.
You best hope I never stop talking, because when I do... something very terrible is gonna happen to you.
Okay guys, this is going to be another video for today. This one's going to be doing another video for The Walking Dead Season 10. This one's going to be doing my video review for the season premiere of Season 10C / third half premiere, whatever you want to call it, of Season 10 of The Walking Dead. So, Season 10, Episode 17, Home Sweet Home. So, man, I mean, this was a really great start to, you know, this half season, because this has been a built-up, you know, 6 episodes. We've been waiting for a while. They started filming on these episodes back in October, and now in February, going on March here pretty soon, we are finally here to see the premiere of The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 17. So, Home Sweet Home. Absolutely love the title, first of all. I think this episode has a great title, Home Sweet Home, Maggie and the others, you know, coming home, with the addition of the brand new characters, which we will also discuss, of course. One being a character we saw in 1016, one that is just now introduced in 1017. Absolutely, guys, if you have not seen this episode yet, now is the time. I will warn you for spoilers if you have not seen this episode yet. So, let's discuss this episode. So, starting off, okay, so we pick up this episode with Maggie and Judith, and we have Maggie that kills a walker. Now, obviously this is a walker, but it is was a whisper before, so it's kind of them confirming that the whispers are, you know, definitely done, and that's kind of their way of confirming that, which I like that little subtle kind of, you know, notice that it's like, okay, yeah, the whispers are done. Now, of course, we got Nabila, we got Lydia, they go there, of course, as Maggie and Judith are talking about Michonne, which we have discussed a few times because this was a opening scene that was released a couple days ago. However, then we have Negan. So, of course, Maggie sees Negan, and her smile just goes away. And, of course, you know, he's like, hey, Maggie, I didn't escape, if that's what you're thinking. So, love it. Absolutely amazing. And then she kind of just looks at him, walks away, and Negan's like, well... shit. So, I love it. I thought it was an absolutely amazing intro, and honestly, a great way to kind of start off the episode. So, love the intro. Now, also to mention in the intro, we do have Lauren Cohan's name, who is re-added to the intro, which I think is really cool. And we do have the logo, which seems a little bit less burnt. It seems like there's less fire now in it or something. So, just kind of looks a little bit more decayed there, which I think looks really, really cool. Now, okay, so then we get to see Daryl and Carol. They meet up with Maggie, of course, and they get introduced to Cole and Elijah. Now, Elijah is a character that we saw in the last episode, of course, episode 16. However, Cole is a character that we've never seen before till this episode. And the dude is so cool. I love this guy. So he basically has like these two, like, you know, weapons here, and he just, you know, slice and dice basically, and I love it. I think this guy's really cool. I've already seen some people kind of compare him to Comic Jesus. He just kind of looks like Comic Jesus. Could be the Comic Jesus we never had. Who knows? So that is definitely really cool. I like the meeting between the characters. And then, of course, they're like, well, our community. So this is when we find out that apparently Maggie's community got attacked by the Reapers. So this is kind of a little bit of a backstory to find out a little bit of kind of why they're back to the group now. And it sounds like their group got attacked by the Reapers. So, now they're going to be living with them. So, you know, basically, Maggie has the idea that she'll be taking them to Hilltop and they can all live at Hilltop. And Daryl and Carol are just kind of looking at each other and like, yeah, I don't think so. So we get to see them go to Hilltop, of course, and the place is gone. Obviously, as we can see Maggie's reaction there. And of course, then we find out that, you know, of course, through Carol, who tells Maggie right there that, yeah, you should know that Negan was there that night. Negan was with the Whispers. And it's like, I wanted you to hear it from me because it was you let him out, and she says basically that, you know, we were going to lose everything. Negan's why we didn't. Daryl kind of backs Carol up with that one. And basically that's that. Of course, now Maggie and the others, they can't go to Hilltop, of course, but that's that. So Carol and the others go back to Alexandria, but Daryl's going to accompany Maggie. Same thing with Kelly, and they are going to kind of continue on. However, Carol's going to go back to Alexandria, and she says that it was nice seeing her. Now, we get to see the characters basically go and, we see them walking, that type of thing, and then we have the walkers that show up. So they kind of clear this place for the night. We have these kind of, storage containers, that type of thing, and basically they all, kind of go in. So basically you've got them, they take out some of the dead and stuff like that. Some really cool kills here, I find, and basically you've got the walkers, of course, at the wall, and you got the head squish from the one and stuff like that. So we kind of saw this in some sneak peeks and stuff like this. But basically they clear the place for the night. Then we have Daryl and Maggie that basically talk. Now, we find out through this conversation exactly, which I love this, because in this conversation we find out why Maggie left, why Maggie's not there, why she hasn't been around for so long. And basically the rationale behind it is that she did not want Negan taking any more space in her head, and she realized that she wasn't prepared to bring Herschel back to that. She didn't want Herschel to be involved in that, which definitely you can understand. And we find out through Maggie in this story that, of course, as we heard in the trailers as well too, which we did hear beforehand, that, apparently, because we get the mention of Beth, we get a mention of, Herschel and stuff, which I thought was really cool. But then, of course, he asks, okay, well, how did my dad die? And she says, well, bad man killed him. And of course, he wanted to know if the bad man got what he deserved, which, you guys know I'm a Negan fan, so even little lines like that kind of pisses me off. But still, I absolutely love this piece of dialogue between Daryl and Daryl and Maggie, and I love the whole scene between them. The talk between the two of them I thought was absolutely great. So basically, in the rest, we get to see the Reapers. So we get to see their introduction, and I love this scene. I love this scene where you've got Daryl that's there, of course, in the tree. You've got Maggie that's kind of behind him. Maggie wants Daryl to kind of stay there, and she's going to kind of go up around. And basically, you've got these two characters that are basically are getting killed, and they're dying basically in front of Maggie and Daryl. And it's just kind of like this moment of like, oh man, so these are the Reapers, right? So it seems like these people that were dying were kind of trying to say like, hey, go this way, that type of thing. And then basically Maggie gets trapped. She runs into one of them. We have the rope that kind of ties her up basically, and then she gets out of it. Daryl kind of fights back and stuff like that. And we got this Reaper character that kind of comes at them. Now, this scene was insane, okay? Because then, not only that, then we see Maggie, of course, and she's like, okay, well, what did you guys want? You attacked our community for nothing. Explain yourself. Who are you? That type of thing. And basically, we have this Reaper that decides to blow himself up. And Maggie and the others are just there, and of course that's the scene in the trailer now that we know. But man, what an interesting group of characters, because man, you just see that, and I'm just like, wow. So really, they just don't care at all. So that was a really insane scene. I really love all of that. The way that was done was just insane. So, yeah, man, the Reapers as a group of villains. Wow. So, yeah, the whole scene there, I just thought was probably one of the best of the episode, if not the best, because I just love the way that whole thing went down. It was exciting. The way they had the guy come up behind, trap Maggie. Daryl's there as well. I thought it was great. You even have Kelly, who's like pointing the crossbow at him, which I thought was also really cool. And man, I love everything about that scene. So basically, so another thing we get to focus on in this episode is, of course, Kelly, she is still, looking for Connie, of course, and we find out that Elijah did also lose his sister as well, too. Now, Kelly and Elijah kind of start to bond a little bit in this episode, and of course, let's talk about it. We do get a face reveal for Elijah, which I thought was really great, because I was wondering, I'm like, please don't tell me they're just going to keep his face a secret for the rest of this half, but we knew they were going to have an actor on this, like, there is an actual actor playing Elijah now. Whereas in episode 16 of season 10, I can almost guarantee they had no actor at all. But now they can actually show a face reveal and stuff like that. And, it's definitely a big question I have, why he wears this mask. That's the big question I kind of have right now. But either way, still really, really cool stuff. So they're heading to Alexandria, basically, and, that's kind of what they got going on right now. And then we get to see the reunion between Maggie and Herschel. So we get to see Herschel. He says, hi, Mom. And then, of course, we see him up there in the tree. And, of course, Maggie is smiling and happy to see him. So thoughts on Herschel so far? I mean, I really like him so far. I think he seems to be a pretty cool kid. And it just makes me so emotional seeing him like that. And, of course, Maggie does find him. But, of course, just seeing him right there, man, I loved that scene so much. I thought it was so cool to see. So that is that. Now, basically in this episode, so here's a good time to kind of bring up one of the things I am really kind of sad about in this episode is that we don't get to see much Negan, which is definitely unfortunate. I thought we would see a little bit more Negan in this episode than we actually did, but I still, like, what we got of him I enjoyed, but I thought that since this was like advertised almost as like a Maggie meeting up with Negan episode, I thought we would see a little bit more of the two of them. But I'm sure the thing is about it though, and the reason why I'm not going to kind of go into this too much is because I'm sure we're going to see more between the two of them going forward. I'm sure Here's Negan. Apparently Maggie is in Here's Negan, so I have a feeling that episode will probably have a little bit more between the two of them as characters. So definitely excited to see that, coming up soon, definitely. But Herschel's back with them. Basically, they're going to be heading to Alexandria, and Maggie basically says it's like, yeah, if Negan, I'll deal with Negan if I have to, that type of thing. Anyway, so that's that, of course. We got that stuff going on, and then basically, we have our characters going to Alexandria. So this is some of the stuff we've seen in some of the trailers. They're on their way to Alexandria. And I really like the music here. I think good choice soundtrack right here. I think the music choice was definitely very good as they're kind of entering Alexandria and they're kind of going in there and stuff like that. And I really like it. I really like just this whole group this episode. We got Daryl, Maggie, Kelly, Cole, Elijah, and Herschel and stuff like that. I love the group we got going on here. But basically, they're heading into Alexandria, and apparently it seems like the Whisperers, when they were, there before in the Tower, episode 15, and stuff like that, it seems like, according to Carol at least, that they kind of, caused, a bit of a mess, of course, which we did see in episode 15, the Tower. The Whisperers filled Alexandria with the Walker herd and all that kind of stuff. So it does make sense that they're kind of trying to rebuild a little bit. Absolutely. So let's talk about the scene where we have Negan at the end. So he notices, which oh man, I got the chills when I saw this. This is his first scene ever seeing not only Maggie walking into Alexandria, but with the son of the father that he killed, that he murdered. And I'm sure from Negan, that's just an absolutely insane moment because he sees little Herschel for the very first time walking with Maggie in Alexandria. And also the fact that Maggie's going to be living there now too. Wow. I don't know. That scene was just insane. And I thought the music, great soundtrack in that moment as well too. I thought the way they did that was great. As you have Negan that's kind of staring at them, that type of thing. And basically, we see Maggie, she's in Alexandria, and basically that is how the episode concludes. So, loved it. I mean, absolutely loved it. I mean, honestly, there were so many great things about this episode. I love the new Cole character. I actually really love Maggie in this episode. I thought they did a great job with her character in this one. Daryl's a great, kind of second main character, I'd say, for this episode, because really Maggie, and I said this a lot in my other review from my non-spoiler version, but Maggie is the lead character in this episode. I know Daryl's kind of supposed to be the main character a lot of the time. This episode is a Maggie episode. There's no question about that. She is the main character of this episode. And I was all for it because I thought this episode turned out really good. And I think that her character in this episode was really, really good. And I really enjoyed what they did with her in this one. So basically to kind of, go over a few other things, a few other things I want to kind of touch on. Obviously Kelly, still out there, for her sister, that type of thing. A little bit of a bond between her and Elijah, a small one. And of course Elijah lost, his sister. I'm interested in finding out a little bit more about this Elijah character and Cole, because Cole looks like comic Jesus. I don't know what it is. The dude just looks like comic Jesus. And I have a feeling that's what they're going to kind of try to aim for a little bit, which if that's what they're going for, if it's going to be like the comic Jesus we never had or something, maybe I'm jumping the gun. That is definitely possible, but I'm just saying, I really like the look of this character, and I think so far he's a cool character. I mean, like seriously, this dude just like takes out the one zombie with the two knives, both in one. I just love that. I think this, oh man, it's so cool. So, love the new characters. Of course, we're getting to know a little bit more about them, finding out about Maggie's community, why she's there, and seeing these Reaper characters, which obviously I can't wait to see, what we got going on further than this in the other 5 episodes, and what other, kind of storylines they give these characters for the Reapers and all that kind of stuff. And I'm interested in seeing more of what this group is. And man, that encounter with the one dude, I'm like, wow, what a scene. So, I loved all of that. I thought that was great. And the destruction of Hilltop, Maggie's reaction to that, her reaction to Negan, you know, being there as well too. And then of course at the very end, them going home sweet home, of course, and seeing Negan. So, love this episode, guys. I absolutely love this episode. I think this episode did almost everything right, to be honest. Any kind of nitpicks, I'm really not going to go into too many because honestly, I just enjoyed this episode so much. I just had so many great things, to say about this one. And honestly, such a fun episode. I feel like such a great episode back. And I'm really, really happy that Maggie is back now fully in the show because it really did feel like an episode 16. I just wasn't satisfied with how much they gave Maggie in episode 16. She wasn't really in the episode all that much, but this one, it felt more like she was around, like she was an actual character, not just somebody that saves the day and then you'll have to see her next time. Like, no, she's a character we focus on in this episode, and I thought it was great. Honestly, I thought it was absolutely great. And another thing to mention in this episode as well too. I just love how this episode, there's, kind of that, the callbacks to the earlier seasons. I think that's great through Maggie's dialogue and through Daryl's dialogue, and that's why I love some of their scenes as well, too, because they are some of the old characters from the early days of The Walking Dead, so they refer to things that, I was so long ago, and I absolutely love all of that as well, too. So, and you can tell, too, in this episode, like I said in my non-spoiler review, the whispers are fresh off their minds, so you can still tell they're kind of still dealing with that a little bit, and I loved it. I thought it was absolutely great. So, in terms of a rating, for this episode, for the mid-season, third half season premiere, I don't know, whatever you want to call this, season 10, episode 16, was a great episode. However, this episode back, it really does feel like we have, more of a show now because we got ongoing episodes. It's not just one episode like that one. So I absolutely love this episode. And in terms of a rating, I'm going to give this episode, which I know is probably a pretty high rating for you guys, but I think this episode does deserve it, for everything it did and everything it had. I'm actually going to give this episode a 9 out of 10. I think it actually really was a solid episode. It made me like Maggie, which I haven't really liked Maggie's character too much lately, so I'm very happy about that. I loved everything with her and Negan, at least the little bit that we actually got. And I liked Daryl's character in this one. Even Kelly was a pretty good character, I would say. Cole is a great character in this episode. He really stands out for me. Elijah face reveal, all this kind of stuff. I thought it was great. And it is, it is kind of a bottle-ish type episode, but because we only see a limited amount of our characters. But again, that's what a lot of this season is going to look like for the other 5 episodes as well, too. Because next week, we have a, Daryl episode, of course, when we see him trying to look for Rick, which I can't wait to see that one as well, too. That one's going to be incredible. So, 9 out of 10 for this episode. Now it's time for you guys to let me know, what did you guys think about this episode of The Walking Dead? Are you guys happy? Are you guys as happy as I am that The Walking Dead's back? I cannot wait. And once we actually get a trailer for episode 18, we will do a trailer breakdown / video predictions for episode 18, Find Me. But that is it for Home Sweet Home. Home Sweet Home is, that's a wrap on Home Sweet Home. Cannot wait to see the other 5 episodes of these 6 additional episodes of The Walking Dead Season 10. The Walking Dead Season 10C, I would say personally, is starting off very strong. So, anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Write your comments in the comment section below. If you guys are new here, click the subscribe button so you can see my Walking Dead videos. Follow Dan's Walking Dead Reviews, subscribe, guys, and of course, I'll see you guys really soon for another Walking Dead video. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out. The Walking Dead is back.
Anybody out there?